Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 pilot, and welcome back to the PMDG 737-800 for Flight Simulator 2024. Today we are going to fly the Qantas 737 on a flight from the brand new ORBX Perth airport over to ORBX's Melbourne, which is a quick 3-hour and about 15-minute flight across Australia and the ocean. So join me in the flight deck and we'll make our way straight away. Now, Qantas does feature the business class cabin that you can see over here, and as you can see, business class seats quite a bit wider and also quite a bit more legroom over here. If we just do take a seat here for a moment, we can see a lovely IFE screen and overall some pretty nicely done cabin here. I gotta say, I really do like it. Now, from here on, let's head right up to the flight deck so that we can get ready for today's flight. We have a scheduled off block in about half an hour-ish, and as you can see, Qantas has an interesting setup here of the aircraft, having both the heads-up display as well as the old MCP on this particular airplane, which is an actual real-life configured aircraft. So this is exactly what this particular airplane looked like at the time. Alright then, let's go ahead and start with a little bit of a setup. And first things first, battery on. The ground power is gonna come on, and then we can do our APU fire test here. Here we go, that's looking good, and the reset works as well. Then we can test the squibs, which is looking good. Emergency exit light arms, attendant call button checked. So, takeoff config works, cargo fire extinguishers work, transponder should be off, and we can set 2000 here as well. Then going up to the top, voice recorder is coming on, clackers are working, flight recorder is also working, stick shaker is not going to work just yet. So IRS is into nav, the rest is looking good. Then let's put our code away and then we can also throw our flight bags in and take a seat on the captain's seat of the 737. So we're going to start with a couple of basics here, and the first one, as always, is going to be to import our flight plan and have a look into what we're actually going to do. So let's have a look. We are going to start with the significant weather chart right at the bottom over here, and as you can see, we're departing Perth and we've got a lovely jet stream from the back, then heading across the ocean with a little ETOP sector here for about, I tend to say maybe half an hour, a little bit longer, 45 minutes. And then all the way over to Melbourne. Now, looking into the weather forecast.
Runway awareness, okay.
Perth is pretty nice, clear skies, temperature 24, and Melbourne has winds 180 at 14, 17 degrees, no clouds detected, so probably going to be a landing on runway, what's that, 17 or something over there? We'll figure it out when we get there. Alright, at Canberra, clear skies, beautiful weather. The summer is really coming down here in Australia. With that in mind, heading up here, an on-time departure leads to an on-time arrival. Cost NX15, cruising level 350 for today's flight. Weights are not critical. Landing weight, we have about 2,000 kilos margin. Now going into the fuel section, the question is, do we need any extra? I would say no, not really. So let's just round it up to 12 tons of fuel, and then we are good to go. So weight and balance, load from SimBrief. Precise loading, and down here we're looking for 12 tons, like that. And here we go, that's everything set. Beautiful. So with that done, let's start our airplane setup. So traffic, terrain and airport, the same on your side please. Then we can have an oxygen test. And that is looking good. Alright, then let's start with our FMS setup, and we will start going down into the FMC, 737-800, 26K engine, NavDB is up to date, copy and paste the GPS position, and then let's go back to menu, data link, ATS, ATIS, we're looking for YPPH today. ATIS from Sane Tensions over here, unable required nav performance, that's checked, ATIS is on the way. While we're waiting for that, let's also go ahead and request our routes uplink. And that is selected. Qantas 768 is looking correct. Okay, so Everything is uplinking, everything's in progress. Then let's actually start by finding our airport charts. We're going to start right up here with the airport chart, the airport info chart, and also the parking stands. I do believe it's that one down here? No. Let's quickly see which one it is. PERTH is a little bit more complex. Alright, that one. So you have two large terminals over here that you got to take into consideration. Now, our route is here. Let's hit load. And then we can check meme up 5 departure. Now, that's going to be one that you guys are going to like. So, meme up 5, runway 21. Here we are. That looks correct, doesn't it? Okay, so that thing is here. Then let's quickly cross-check our ATIS. So we got PERTH information X-ray at 0900. Departing runway is 2124. Wind 230 at 18. Clear skies. Temperature 24, dew point 12, QNH 1012. Alright, 1012 set. Then let's actually start the APU, because otherwise it is going to get a little bit hot in here. Let's have a look at the temperature there. Currently 26, but it is going to get warmer than that, that's for sure. So we'll just set AUT as per the Boeing guidance. And then here we go. Okay, cool. So let's actually go ahead and continue with our setup. So you can already go to plan mode. That's where we are going to need you. And then let's start. So departing PERTH runway 21, meme up 5, arriving in Melbourne on the ILS approach runway 16, and we got the Luxor 1 Alpha arrival, which is this one. Now let's go ahead and have a very quick look down here. Yep, that looks good. Activate. Now for the performance initialization, cost index 15, reserve fuel. Let's see, 2.1 plus 1.2, 3.3. So reserve 3.3, plant 0 fuel weight. Let's have a look. Is 60.9, flight level 350. Average wind component is a tailwind of 65 knots, so I'm going to make that 270 at 65 in here. Top of climb, outside temperature is minus 52. Transition altitude 2001. Down here everything's set. It's a dry runway and accelerating in 1000 AGL. Alright, so VNAV climb page, we got 250 below 10,000, fixed page, YPPH, and a 25-mile ring around that thing. And then let's go ahead and check our sit. So straight out to AFBAT, left turn to Delru, and we can insert a 220 restriction here at AFBAT. Alright, then to Delru, hide it. Vemen, Burgu, and finally meme up. Alright, that's looking good. There is no initial climb altitude published, and 250 below 10,000 is cross-checked, transition 10,000 is cross-checked. Alright, so that's our FMC setup complete for the time being. Then let's do the rest of our flight deck over here. So starting at the top, yaw damper is coming on, nav transfer display switches, normal auto, fuel pumps on, all 6 of them, cross-feed. Works just fine. Alright, up here everything's checked. APU is available. That's good. Then let's go ahead and turn the rest of our things on over here. Packs coming on. APU bleed is coming on. Cruising in flight level 350. Like that. Field elevation. Runway 16, 480, minus 50, so 430. So we can make that 450 in here. Okay, right, igniter is coming on. Wheel well is always a good idea, especially if it's bright outside, because everyone's eyes will be adjusted to the brightness outside. Initial climb, don't really know, probably something about 5,000 or so. Initial heading 196. Like that, and for the courses, let's actually see, 196 the correct runway heading? Yeah, it is. Alright. So for the courses we'll set 196 as well. Like that. And like that. Perfect. So fuel flow reset. Auto brake into RTO. Down here we got the QNH of 1012. Alright, down here everything is done. Parking brake can be set, as it should be cold anyway. Frequencies. So, delivery will be done by data link, so ground west of runway 21 is 121.7. Like that, and tower will be on 127.4. Alright, like that. So, do we have any local nav aids that we might need? Don't really think so, but let's be sure. Let's see, search, Perth, arrival, 21. Any VOR? Yep, 13.7. So, can put that active, listen and transmit VHF 1.2, flight interphone. That's also where we want to put the transmitter to, so that we don't accidentally do anything on the radio that we don't want to do. So 1.5 is pre-selected, and then we just need the data for the heads-up display. So Perth Airport info. So our runway is 3,444 meters. Like that. Cool. Primary IMC mode is correct. Squawk 2000 and GCAS above. All the rest is set. Beautiful. Then we are done with our cockpit preparations. So let's request our IFR clearance next. Data link ATS departure clearance. I actually tell you what this was. ATIS information X-ray. Okay. So departure clearance. ATC center. YPPH. Stand is 202. ATIS X-ray. And good morning. So that all looks good. Let's send that clearance request. And while we're waiting for the clearance to arrive, we can do a departure briefing. So threats for the departure, honestly I don't see any. Oh, that was quick. Clearance processed, standby. Okay. Alright, so I don't see any threats for today's departure, then let's go ahead with the route check. And we're going from Yankee Papa Papa Hotel to Yankee Mike Mike Lima, Quebec Fox Alpha 768. Our routing is via MIMAP 5 to MIMAP, Yankee 53 Alaxo, Alaxo 1 Alpha arrival, and the ground distance 1,502 versus 1,500. 4.3 remaining, and the fuel required 3.3. Alright, good. Then let's do the instrument cross check. Time UTC is 23:05, altimeter 1012, reading 50. MFRA is going to be 1050. Flight directors are on, minus master, and the standby instruments will be set in a moment. Okay, standby instruments are set. Left seat takeoff, runway 21, flight 5, noise 2. And engine outset straight at 25 miles, climbing 3,000, MSA 2,400 feet for the... What was I about to say? For the emergencies above 80 knots will only reject for fire warning, engine failure, predictive wind shear warning, or if the aircraft is unable or unsafe to fly. Fire call stop, I will simultaneously close the thrust levers, disengage the auto throttle, apply max manual braking, verify operation of the RTO auto brakes. Manually raise the speed brake lever, apply maximum reverse thrust, and when the aircraft comes to a stop, I will set the parking brake. If you call stop, I will note the brakes on, speed and call speed brakes up or speed brakes not up, and thruster is normal indications. Call 100 knots, 8 knots, 6 knots, and the runway distance remaining. Verify your actions, call in emissions, I call auto brake disarm, and select flaps 40 when the parking brake has been set, and advise ATC of the reject. We then identify the failure and carry out any drills as appropriate. If we decide to evacuate the aircraft, we redo the evacuation checklist. Time permitting, we'll pull the CBR CPU, grab the lid, then we get out. Taxi is a pushback to the left side. I am kind of assuming that we are going to depart via Delta, so that would be simply a taxi straight ahead and into Delta for runway 21. Now our SID is the MIMAP 5 departure, straight ahead towards Athbat, and then a left turn, Delru, and all the way out, pretty much like we got it in here. Initial climb to be confirmed by ATC, and since the clearance has just arrived, I suggest we're just gonna go for that straight away. So let's see, clear to Melbourne, MIMAP 5, runway 21, and that's both confirmed. Maintain 4,000. which is set. Departure 123.6. Let's tune that down here as a reminder. So 123.6, squawk 6311. Okay, we'll go. And that thing is accepting. Perfect. Send. Good. Lovely, then we are done with this, so let's go right down into the performance. And at the same time, GSX can start to prepare the position for pushback and departure, please. So we've got a zero fuel weight of 60.9, which checks our FMC. 72.9 is also checked. Then let's go for the performance tool, PERTH. 2-1. We do want to calculate the intersection, but that's not the correct chart. Oh god, that's not the correct chart either. So, airport info. Interesting, that is the correct chart. Okay. Takeoff run available, runway 21, Delta. That's 2,680 meters. So, 2680. Nope. Like that. Now, our takeoff weight, 72,900. CG is 23. Let's find the weather real quick. So, 230 at 18. Temperature outside is 24 and the QNH 1012, like that. Alright, takeoff 133. So takeoff 133, 94.2% checked. Flaps 5 takeoff, CG 23, speeds 474853. That's all looking good, and 153 goes up here. Alright, perfect, that's our performance completed. Then let's get the airplane ride ready. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of Qantas, welcome on board our 737-800 on our flight to Melbourne. Today's flight time, 3 hours 10 minutes, expecting a smooth flight in 35,000 feet of altitude. For the time being, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and if there is anything we can do for you to make your flight more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew. Thank you very much for your attention, and again, welcome aboard. Alright, so those are done, then let's go ahead and close everything. So, release the power, remove the chocks, door management, close all. Jetway should be going anyway, and they are. Perfect. So, that is looking quite good to me. Then let's do the safety inspection checklist, and before start checklist down to the line. Services and chocks checked, maintenance status checked, batteries on, electric hydraulic pumps on, landing gear lever down, ship's library checked, RS mode selectors nav, gear pins. We got 1, 2, 3 removed. Probe covers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 removed. Light test checked. Oxygen test 100%. Yaw damper on. Nav transport display switches normal auto. Fuel 12 required, 12 on board. And we got 6 pumps on. Cabin utility IV galley power on. Emergency exit lights on. Fast melts on. Window heat on. Air cannon press. Pax auto bleeds on set. Pressurization mode selector auto. Instruments cross checked. Auto brakes RTO. Hydraulics normal. Speed brake. Down detent, park and brake set, stop trim, cutout switch is normal, wheel well fire warning checked, radius radar and transponder, set standby, rudder and aileron trims 3-0, takeoff briefing, disgusting, PA, complete, FMC and CDU set, and one an ES box, auto, reduce 24K, 47, 48, 53 set, stop trim 5.6, I don't know why I keep forgetting that one, probably not in the habit of doing that anymore, since I'm flying Airbus. So, 5.6 sets, start levers are on, performance weight and balance sign sent, phones off, EFB, airplane mode still, flight awareness and cockpit door locked, doors closed, passengers seated, before start checklist complete down to the line. Alright, that's looking good so far. Then let's go ahead and request our Pushback clearance. Hold on ground, Qantas 768, request pushback and startup.
Qantas 768, pushback and startup approved. Face south.
Pushback and startup approved, face south, Qantas 768. Before start checklist below the line, please. Air compacts off, anti-collision light on, parking brake set, transponder out of, before start checklist complete. Ground from flight deck. Please confirm that all doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed, and the bypass pin is installed. All confirmed. Roger, thank you. Then you're clear to push, facing south, and the parking brake is released. Start the pushback facing south, and stand by for engine start. Roger. Okay, and here we go. So, 21 minutes from start of the video to going off block. I tend to say that is quite alright.
Cabin crew, doors are armed and cross-checked. Cabin attendants, armed doors and cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome aboard Qantas Flight 768.
So, with the new engine start, we can delay the startup a little bit, so that we only need to commence start when we are really approaching the taxiway down there. I gotta say the 737 just looks good from this perspective, doesn't it?
Please ensure your seat backs and tray tables are in the upright position and window blinds are opened for takeoff and landing. Remember to fasten your seatbelt whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated.
Alright, let's get down here. So, ground flight, starting engine 2. Clear 2. And 2.
Wagonair 549 a contact tower.
Oil pressure.
127
And 1.
Over to tower, Wagonair 549er.
So, pushback completed. Set brakes, please. Parking brake set. Start a cutout. Monitor 2. Pack isolated. Starting 1. And 2. Oil pressure. And 1. Start a cutout, monitor 1, engine 1 stable. So there's the tuck, there's the tow bar, there's a strange spawning of LODs. Okay then, normally we should wait until we really have everything inside, but I don't really care. Let's go. So there's the marshaller and the clear signal is seen. Then let's do the flight controls. Full up, full down, neutral. Full left, full right, neutral. Rudder, full left, full right, neutral. before taxi checklist. Generators on, APU off, start switches continuous. Probe heat on, anti-ice off, air conditioning packs auto, bleeds on, isolation valve auto, flaps 5 required, 5 selected and a green light, step trim 5.6 set, start levers idly turned, flight controls checked, recall checked, before taxi checklist complete. Qantas 768, request taxi. Okay, then we can take the hub down and let's also go for the ANR sound set. Because this is really what it would sound like for a pilot.
768, runway 21 taxi via Tango 4, apron taxiway, Delta.
Qantas 768, taxi to holding point runway 21 via Tango 4 and Delta. Okay, Tango 4 Delta, I think that's pretty much just straight ahead, is it? Let's go down here and give me that. Same. Here we go. So, apron taxiway and Delta. Alright, cool. So we're clear on the left side, we're clear on the right side. Lights on, brakes off, config. We're rather heavy today, for that reason I'm using a little bit more than about 30%. At lightweights 30% is more than enough for the 737. Okay, so slightly left, first right, and then to the holding point. Right side is clear.
Netlink 1628, ready for pushback.
Qantas 768, are we number 1? Yeah, he's holding.
768, can you repeat that?
Disregard. Okay, before takeoff checklist down to the line. Config.
Qantas 768, can you repeat
Checked.
that?
No, I can't. Config checked. Flaps 5.5 green light. Step trim 5.6. Set. Takeoff briefing. Left seat takeoff runway 21. Flaps 5. Noise abatement procedure 2. And the takeoff speeds 147, 148, 153. Sit straight ahead. Left hand turn. Climbing 4000. Contact departure when advised by air traffic control. The MSA extended 3000. And I've got no threats for the departure. Anything from your side? No? Alright, then let's switch over to tower and call them ready. Perth Tower, Qantas 768 ready for departure. 1236 is pre-selected as our departure frequency. Perth Tower, Qantas 768, ready for departure.
Qantas 768, runway 21, wind 190 at 9er, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21, cleared for takeoff, Qantas 768. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Before takeoff checklist below the line, MCP, set, transponder, Tara, strobe lights on, landing lights on, before takeoff checklist complete. Okay, are you ready with the rolling takeoff? Left side is clear. Then let's go.
On runway 21.
Takeoff.
Approaching 06.
Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. Checked.
V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. So initial pitch 15 works pretty well. I just love how accurately you can fly this using the heads-up display. So LNAV, VNAV.
Qantas 768, contact departure on 123.6.
123.6, Qantas 768.
Netlink 2.
So flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1. Perth departure, Qantas 768, passing 1,500, climbing 4,000. Flaps up.
1768.
Speed check.
Departure radar contact. Climb 4000. Vectors to AV bed. And a smile.
Climbing 4000 and continue the filed route, Qantas 768. Approaching. Speed, vertical speed. And I think track keeping not gonna be any problem here. Speed 250, please. Qantas 768, climbing flight level 220. Set. 220 checked. So, flaps up, no lights. VNAV, set standard, after takeoff checklist.
Contact set on 135.25.
13525, Qantas 768. Perth Center, Qantas 768, passing 4,400, climbing level 220.
Good morning, Perth, QNH 1012.
QNH 1012, Qantas 768. Okay, so after takeoff checklist, air conditioner and pressurization 2.6, climbing and set. Altimeters, standard, passing levels 59 now. After takeoff checklist complete. So sometimes it makes sense to fly the airplane slightly outside of the flight director, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. So the flight director is usually going to try to track the route pretty accurately. However, that can sometimes, especially when there is a speed change involved in a turn, lead to, let's just say, unexpected results. And that is actually the case on the real 737 as well. When you are changing the speed in a turn, like we did earlier, then the airplane will overshoot the turn. It's just a 737-ism. Climbing flight level 250, Qantas 768. Set. Flight level 250 checked. Command A. Alright, so let's see. Landing at 33, schedule is 40, that is perfect. Then let's go. We need 427 miles around Perth, and then we need Adelaide as well, with a 427 mile ring for the ETOPS section of the flight. No longer need the timer. So, altimeters, passing 10, climbing 250, 10 checks. And shall we see if we can make the route a little bit more straight? Proceed direct to MEMUP, I'd say. Qantas 768, any chance to proceed direct MEMUP?
Dear guests, the lavatories are now available for your use. You may also use your approved electronic devices in flight. Our cabin service begins
then resume forward route.
Thank you.
Thank you. Direct MEMUP, then planned route, Qantas 768. Alright, so direct to MEMUP. And we will take a beam points for this, so that we can do a fuel check at Burgu, I suppose. And then let's do the 10 checks here. The fuel is balanced with 6 pumps on, lights off, APU off, air conditioner and pressurization 4.2, climbing set, fasten belts. 123.6, Qantas 768. Melbourne Center, Qantas 768, passing level 119, climbing level 250. Right, recall checked, 21.5 monitoring, let's connect to CPDLC. That's gonna be Yankee Triple Mike. Alright, send that lock on, and here we go. And if you understood what the other guys said. I certainly didn't. Okay, well, doesn't matter. I don't care. 362 is optimum, 350 is the cruise level. I suppose we are going to do step climb at some point. I'll enter 377. Climbing flight level 310, Qantas 768. Set, 310 checked, VNAV. And we got an ATC uplink, which is log on accepted. Beautiful. Okay then, we've done everything we could, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and I'll get back to you when anything interesting happens. I hope you enjoyed the flight thus far.
Melbourne Centre, contact Melbourne. Approach on 129.4.
129.4, Qantas 768. So, 129.4, we do have an Asus. Which is Information Hotel. Melbourne approach, Qantas 768, passing level 140, descending along the Alexa 1. Arrival, Information Hotel.
Qantas 768, Melbourne approach identified. Good afternoon. Expect the RNAV runway 34 approach into Melbourne.
Expecting the RNAV runway 34, Qantas 768. Okay, well, that's quite the replanning from what we had originally planned. So, what is the latest weather? Atus request, Yankee Mike Mike Lima. And while we're waiting for that, let's start replanning. So, arrivals. RNAV 34, here it is, on the Alexa 1 arrival. Amount of Nixon. Which we are going to continue to do. Okay, puts us 2000 high in profile. Nothing we can't deal with. And here's our Atus. Still says runway 16, wind 170 at 13. That's 13 knots of tailwind. Okay, but we can do up to 15, so if it saves us some time, let's do it. Honor 34 is in here, then get me the charts, and then we'll start to prepare. Search RMP 34, here it is. So the approach starts at Actel, max 185 above 2500, on towards Bosky, and that's the final approach fix in 1650, 3-degree glide slope, and thereafter we are going to continue down to the minimum, which is 690 for this one. Here we go, 690 is set. Okay, missed approach. Straight at 4000, and we got straight at 4000. So, burning 200 kilos fuel, that leads to 64.9. Flaps 40 because of the expected tailwind here. And auto brakes 3. Now let's quickly calculate that. Oh, that's the wrong app. And that's the GSX window blocking my click spots. Runway 34, calculate. And here we go. Works. Alright, we're clear to descend via the arrival. That means 5000 is our next altitude restriction. Descent altitude 5000, Qantas 768. Okay, set. 5000 checked. Perfect, so that stuff is done. Now the QNH reads 101. Descending 5000, Qantas 768. So far so good. Then we got the fuel balanced with 4 pumps on, lights on, angular bank 25, air cannon press 3.3 descending set, fast modes on, recall checked, 1 to 1.5 deselected, and 10 checks are complete. So for the approach briefing, this is going to be an ILS an RNAV approach, runway 34, flaps 30, and auto brakes 3, vacate the runway to the right hand side. The approach itself, as we've just discussed, starts at 1690, 3-degree glide slope, and down to the minimum. Go around straight at 4000, and the one threat that we've got today is the tailwind, so we will be using our flaps 40 configuration. Reverse us to the maximum due to the high ground speed so that we can shorten the turnaround time for the next sector. Any questions? No? Beautiful. Then that's our briefing complete. So, descent checklist. Pressurization, land out 450, NEIs off, approach bring fuel disgusting, ES and outbox checked and set, descent checklist complete. Okay, so now ATC has cleared us to 5000, so we are gonna do just that. Let's also go to level change here. I want to go a little bit below the profile, just in case we do get a shortcut, for example, to Bosky or something. And we forgot something. And now it's runway 34, with a 10-mile ring and a 4-mile ring. Even though I tell you what, I'm gonna make that 5, because I want to configure a little bit earlier with those tailwinds, just to be safe here. Let's also calculate something real quick. What happens if they send us from ODAP to Bosky? 1000 to go. Checked. Let's start reducing our speed. 220. So, Bosky after ODAP. And then it calculates 3800. So let's enter those. Just to be on the safe side here. Okay, perfect. And down to the upspeed, please. Speed brakes not needed any longer. Steep descent after MEMAC is checked. Okay, frisk check. Frequencies not applicable. Rings. Runway 34, 10 miles, 4 miles. Idents not applicable. And that means we can actually deselect this. Standby instrument set, and the courses are should be 340. Set once, and Set twice. Alright, 10 checks complete.
68, 9 miles from Bosky. Turn left heading 035. Descend altitude 1600 until established. Cleared for the RNAV runway 34 approach.
Left 065, descend 1600 until established. Cleared RNAV 34, Qantas 768. Okay, this is kind of what I expected. Flaps 1. So, let's extend the centerline from Bosky, please. So, here's our VNAV profile. Let's return to VNAV here. And keep the 210 for the time being. Flaps 5. So, approach checklist. Altimeter and instruments. Cross-checked. Approach rates. Checked and set. Approach checklist complete. And you can get the VST there. Okay, so quite a shortcut here. Bosky at 1650 is okay. And we're approaching the vertical profile there. That's good. Then let's go and dial that speed down. We have VNAV path. And LNAV. So LNAV is drawing the path of the interception over here. That's good. Alright, gear down. Flaps 10. Because we need to get slow now.
Radio altimeter.
Checked. Runway heading 340 set. Flaps 15. Speed checked. Flaps 15.
Qantas 768, contact Melbourne Tower on 120.5.
120.5. Qantas 768.
Qantas 768, contact Melbourne Tower on 120.5 at 60 ME.
Yeah, whatever. Alright, flaps 25. Speed checked. Flaps 25. Melbourne Tower, Qantas 768, established RNAV 34. Okay, approach and descent. 700 feet, VNAV path, speed intervent.
768, Melbourne
Flaps
Tower,
40.
approach runway 34.
Speed checked.
Qantas 768, Melbourne Tower, winds 350 at 12. Runway 34, cleared to land.
Runway 34, cleared to land, Qantas 768. Landing checklist.
China Eastern 852.
And set go around altitude. Go around altitude 4000 set.
Winds 170 at 13. Runway 34, cleared for takeoff.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting if someone lines up now.
34, cleared for takeoff. China Eastern.
1000.
Okay, landing checklist. Start switches. Continuous. Recall.
4.
Checked. Speed brake. Arm. Green light. Landing gear down 3 green. Auto brake 3 set. Flaps. 40. 40. Green light. Landing lights on. Landing checklist complete. Okay. So, 170 knots ground speed.
500.
Yeah, I'm going to ignore that airplane on the runway there. That is not supposed to be there. Definitely ignoring him.
30, 20,
Ooh.
10.
Speed brake up, thruster is normal. 80%. One on at knots. $60 knots, manual brakes. Hello. Oh man, that sucks. But anyway, the landing was quite okay. Apart from the fact that, you know, there was an airplane on the runway.
Qantas 768, welcome to Melbourne. Contact ground on 121.7.
121.7, Qantas 768. Ground, good afternoon, Qantas 768, runway vacated.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Melbourne. We hope you enjoyed your flight with us.
Qantas 768, Melbourne ground, taxi to Terminal 1, Gate B285, Echo, Alpha, Echo, Quebec. Good day.
Diverse culture. Thank you for flying with Qantas.
Gate Bravo 28, Echo Alpha, Echo Quebec, Qantas 768. Good day.
First Officer Stephanie and the entire crew. We wish you a wonderful day.
Okay, so
124 in the
Qantas 768, taxi to Terminal 1, Gate B285.
yeah, don't repeat yourself. So Echo Alpha,
2:30 from Gate 32. And
Echo Quebec. Okay.
departs at 3:15.
Not sure how Alpha plays into this, but we basically go straight out via Echo and then Quebec to the gate. So down here, and Bravo 28 is over here. Okay, so with that, welcome to Melbourne. Let's see if we can get GSX to load at a gate without crashing. So, Bravo 25. No, actually that's incorrect, it's Bravo 28. Handling by Qantas. So, what's the Virgin doing in front of us? I hope she doesn't want us to catch her from the back, huh? Definitely don't want to insert anything into the Virgin today. Okay, so after landing procedures are complete, and with that I can say welcome to
3664, contact
Melbourne.
on 120.5.
Lovely A220 over here. Really hoping that the Synapse A220 is going to come soon. Because that is definitely an airplane that I do want to try and fly. So, we'll go all the way down by Quebec, that is the second from the end. And we got 3 minutes, shut down engine 2. Virgin, I understand that you want to do it slowly, but get going.
Velocity 329 a contact tower on 120.5.
Because it's slightly uphill over here, and I definitely don't want to stop on a single engine while going uphill. Okay, he's clear.
743 contact tower on 120.5.
Over to tower, velocity 743.
So, the Virgin is clear. And we are here now, so Quebec is one further. Or is it? No, it's not. It's Quebec over here. Clearly says that on the taxiway sign there. And Bravo 28 is at the very front of the pier, so gotta be that one.
1618, ready for push and start.
Yep, I do see some ground crew over there. Wait a moment, why does it say Charlie 9?
Velocity
Stop.
1041, ready for push and start.
Okay, because our gate is on the other side. Well, I could have
Clear for push and start.
known that.
Roger, pushback.
And there is a static on my gate. Right, well, we can certainly solve that problem.
Start.
Here we go, problem solved. APU is available. Okay, so Bravo 28, lights off please. And here we go. So there is a guy... No, there is a marshal hiding somewhere. Well, since we can't see him in any way, let's just look to the side here, park somewhere like here. So, 2 blue, 1 red, engines dead. Then can put the headset off. Okay. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. Alright. So, both engines below 20% and parking checklist. Well, transit shutdown checklist. Electrical on APU, fast modes auto, propeat, auto, engine anti-ice off, air compacts auto, engine bleeds on, APU bleed. Tell you what, let's put that on, it's warm enough here. So APU bleed on, exterior light set, start switches auto, auto brake off, speed brake down 10, flaps up and light, parking brake set, start levers cut off, weather radar off, transponder 2000 standby, CB in, cockpit door unlocked. And that's our transit shutdown checklist complete. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Melbourne. Do hope you like this one. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video, and look at that. We parked quite fine, I would say. A little bit far in the front, but overall quite fine. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. As always, leave your comments underneath the video. Like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you all again right on the next one.